What up, man? Welcome to another episode of the Hour of Change podcast. And today is no different. We have a very special guest. Actually, this interview is long overdue. Long overdue. We've been trying to connect, trying to make it happen, but either schedule conflicts or whatever. But anyway, today we're here. We're here, and it's a blessing to be here. And I want to welcome Miss Asia, the queen of makeup. I've been seeing your work, seeing what you've been doing, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So welcome to the show. I'm happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here,
Happy.
finally.
Finally, yes, ma'am. Um, One of the first things I want to ask you is, what inspires you about your work?
What inspires me? Um, I guess what inspires me would be knowing where I want to go. Like, I guess, like, what's next. So, what inspires me to get up and go hard every day is the goal, the end goal that I see for myself. Like, where I want to be in like 3 or 4 years, you know?
And where's
I
that
guess
at?
just like definitely retired for makeup, but just like really happy, like a nice, beautiful, big home, family, stuff like that. Like, so I guess just my future inspires me.
So when you say be retired from makeup, what do you mean? Like you're not doing it at all?
No, I definitely will always do makeup, but I mean, as far as being so behind the chair, or standing
Right.
up all the time, taking clients every day, kind of like more so on my boss, like maybe a cosmetics line or something else where I'm making residual income besides, you know.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's actually a beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. What's that? Are you currently like setting it up right now?
I am.
What's that?
I have a cosmetics line. It's Asia Beauty and Company right now. So I just have like lipsticks and like eyeshadow palettes and like small makeup things. But the goal is to, obviously get into like Ulta, Target, Walmart, Amazon. Yeah.
Right. What what made you get into that? What made you want to develop your own cosmetics line?
The residual income, knowing that I could use my platform to, push a product. And a lot of girls, I have a pretty decent following, and I feel like I have a good influence on like makeup at least.
Right.
Like they're gonna trust what I say when it comes to makeup. So if I'm putting out a good product, I know I can sell it.
You just used a very profound word, trust. What? How? You said they would trust you.
Mhm.
How did you develop that trust between you and your clientele, the people that follow you?
Um, I think being me, like being authentically myself. I feel like I don't show it as much since I moved to Houston, but with building my platform, I used to do a lot of, or now I'm getting back into it, but I used to do a lot of like get ready with me makeup things on myself, and I would go live doing my makeup all the time, and I would like talk to my, following on live, and they would ask me a bunch of questions, and I would just, freely answer and no gatekeeping, really like telling them what it is. So like
Right.
even when stuff isn't good, because sometimes stuff isn't good or not good for me, but it might be good for somebody else. I would say exactly how I feel.
Gotcha. So you said when you moved to Houston, where are you from originally?
So I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Why are you laughing?
Because that word is a tongue twister.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
What brought you to Houston?
Makeup, better opportunity, more money, just a better life.
Why Houston?
I just need a big city, like, and
Okay,
if
you
it's
got
not
California, you got Miami, you got
right.
LA.
So I feel like when I moved here, there was a not a lack of, because there's a million makeup artists in Houston. But when I moved here, I thought I was being like strategically trying to do it. Like Atlanta has all of the best makeup artists in my opinion. They have like they're so good. Miami, I just didn't. I couldn't see myself living in Miami. But Houston, I also have my mom's family lives here too, so it made it easy, made the transition easy. But Houston has like a growing nightlife. There's something to do every day in Houston. So I needed somewhere where I could go, and if I needed to work every day, I can.
Right. Gotcha. Gotcha. Let's take a backtrack. What were you doing before you got into makeup? Cause you do it now full time, right?
Mhm.
So like, what were you doing before then?
I've done so much. So I actually went to college for basketball. Like my dad had hoop dreams for me. So I
You know hoop dreams for yourself?
no, I literally
No.
did it for my dad. I did. Like and I'm 6'4", so it just works. Like it's like you have to play basketball. But I had begged my dad to come home my sophomore year in college. I was like, Dad, please, like I just can't do this. Like it's not for me.
What college you went to?
I went to junior college, so I went to Kirkwood, which was in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and then I went to Flow Valley in St. Louis. But that school was just so like rough, and it was like, no offense, I love gay people, but my whole team was like gay, so I couldn't like get into it. You know, like I didn't have no real friends, and I felt like by myself, so I was just really out there living my life for my dad. So I was like, I have to come home and figure out what I want to do because this ain't it. Like I'm not happy. I'm not going to the WNBA. I don't want to do that. So, and I wasn't good. So I needed to come home. But so I came home. Since then I've been a teller. I mean, I worked fast food, obviously. And then I was doing banking for a long time. And
You said
then
bacon?
banking.
Oh, banking.
I was a bank teller. And then I just was trying stuff till I found my thing. Before I started doing makeup full time though, I was a autistic teacher. I worked with kids that had autism before I moved to Houston.
And how did you know makeup was the thing?
It's just natural. Like it kind of just come to me. Like I could just do makeup. Like I just always wore makeup though. Even in high school, like playing ball, I was that big girl with makeup on, like sweating the makeup off because it wasn't even good at the time. So it was just looking crazy. Like I don't want to use Asia towel because it's dirty. Like she got all that makeup on it, like duh. Yeah. So I just always done makeup.
I wanna progress in this conversation, but I gotta put a pin in it for a second because I feel like a lot of people deal with that. Um, I don't know if it's a problem or an issue, but you know, with you said you was pursuing basketball for your pops.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was that like?
So honestly though, I try to find the light in every situation. It was fun in high school because I loved like my team. Like we was like sisters. Like we was AAU, we were traveling everywhere. We just was tight. So the bond made it okay. You know what I mean? But
Right.
um honestly I hated basketball. Like I used to be nervous because like I was so tall, so like the crowd was so rough on me, like I couldn't miss a layup. Like let me miss it and everybody is so mad. And I'm like,
man.
dang, like I missed. Like but so yeah, it was hard. Like it was really, really hard. But then I just used it to make sisters and friends because I'm an only child. So like it was just like that was the thing that made it okay.
At what point in your life, or like what age, or when did you realize that okay, Asia, you doing this for your pops, not really for yourself?
It was really in college. It was like my freshman year in college. So my freshman year in college, I got injured. I right away in the beginning of the season.
What kind of injury?
My ankle. So I have really bad ankle problems, but I had broke my ankle, and I had to
In game?
It was like preseason, wasn't even a game yet. So it was like workouts, conditioning, and so I had the surgery, and then like all year I was just like crutching around because Iowa has snow really bad too. So I was just crutching around. I'm like, this is just not it. Like I was pissed because I was hurt. I couldn't do nothing. I was like, at the end of the year, the team actually released me because the coach probably was like, she doesn't care about this, you know.
Right.
And so that's when I transferred to St. Louis. But after that, like trying to get back into it, like the therapy and like 2 practices a day, 5:30 in the morning, right after school, it was just like, Dad, please, I'm done. Like it feels like torture. Like at this point, it's becoming torture. So at that point, I just was like, I have to find my thing. Like I begged my dad to come home. Like if you let me come home, I swear I'm not gonna ask you for anything. Like I'm not going to. Like I don't need no money or nothing. So I had met this lady that sold Mary Kay, and she introduced me, and they had this kit where it comes with all of your like foundations, concealers, and all that. I'm like, I could use this, and I could start doing people's makeup with this because now I got a kit, and I could like sell it. So then it was like it all just worked. But yeah,
Man, what was that conversation like with you and your pops? Was it like
It
was
was
it a hard
intense.
conversation?
So it was a hard conversation. Actually, what happened was, I had came home, and so with playing basketball, I love playing volleyball. So I was going to leave school again. I left the Flow Valley, and I was going to go to another college in Illinois, another community college. And it came to the day of that I was planning to leave, and I just was like, Dad, please, that was when it was. It was like, please don't, like. And my aunt was there, and she was like, you can't make her go. She don't want to go. So it was like real intense. And then, but my dad didn't talk to me for like a month, and I was living there, so it was like real awkward, like
Living
coming
in the
in.
same house.
Yeah, like not
No
really talking,
communication.
like it was no communicating, like he did not want to deal with me, and I was like, but from there, I feel like that was the motivation I needed, like to get out and work, because since then I've never been jobless or without a hustle or
Right.
some type of something.
And I know this conversation is supposed to be based around entrepreneurship and business, but these are also important conversations. But I feel like this is an important conversation to have, for maybe it's another young woman or someone else is going to hear this, a listener going to hear it and be like, wow, I'm going through the same thing with my dad or with my mom, with your situation, it could give them some type of learning curve. You know what I'm saying? So what's the relationship like with you and your pops now?
That's my best friend.
Your best friend?
Yeah.
Y'all
That
joke
was my
about
best
it?
friend there. Then that was my best friend. He's still my best friend. He's always been my best friend. We joke about it, and he's proud of where I am. So
That's good. That's good. Man. So another question I want to ask you was how long have you been doing makeup?
I'll say professionally, like close to 10 years. Like I've been taking clients for like 10 years
Professionally.
professionally. See, everyone's
What-
definition of professionalism.
And that's what I was about to go to, like what
Right.
makes it professional?
I feel like you give yourself your title. People, well, no. The world gives you, or your clientele give you your title. But everybody on their Instagram or wherever they market themselves is going to say, oh, yeah, I'm a pro artist, or I'm a celebrity artist, or, So, yeah, professionally. Meaning working for myself with that being my business about 10 years.
About 10 years.
Mhm.
That's a decade.
Yeah.
That's a decade. Wow, you've been in the game.
Yeah. Well seasoned.
Well seasoned. When did you realize you were a professional?
I guess when I started doing it full time, and it was like my only source of income, is when I guess we'll call myself professional. No, I've been professional since I started. I've been trying to be, at least.
So, you said that when it became your only source of income, that means you were doing two different things at one time.
Yeah.
So when did you decide to go full in with this?
So when it was like when COVID was starting, because being like in the or working with kids and being a teacher's aide, it just wasn't working with the online for me. So I was like, I'm not like I was clocking in, putting the camera down, sleep. They called my name, and just not working. Like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. So I just like, before they fired me, let me just leave on a good foot,
Right.
and I'm just only do makeup. And honestly, that was like the best decision I ever made, because before then, I feel like since I was only halfway in the door with makeup and halfway doing it and still having like my job, I could only give it a little bit. I couldn't.
So much energy.
Yeah, like I couldn't really do it. But then when it was the only thing that I had to rely on, it was like, okay, now I'm here. I'm doing extra content. Now I'm practicing. Now I'm really watching videos. I'm taking extra classes. I'm doing, So, yeah. Once COVID started, and because I think the question was, when did I start or only do makeup? Yeah, when COVID, I just couldn't give the school or the kids what they needed, and they
Right.
needed like more attention than I could do.
I got you. Was that a hard decision to make?
It was, because it's like, dang, what if I don't make the money, or what if I don't have the clients to make up the extra money? Because that's
Right.
all that'd be that fear of like not having the same amount of money. But in that job aspect, it's like, that check is going to be there, but it's like it takes so much of your time that you easily, if you just trust yourself, you'll make the money.
How did you overcome that fear?
I just, I just, I don't know. I just trusted myself, but I just know I've always been a hustler. Like, or I just know that I can make something happen. And so even if that didn't work, I was a bartender as well. So I'll just go bartend, or I'll make the extra money, some
Gotcha.
way. So
Gotcha. Um, so you said you've been doing it for like 10 plus years now.
mm,
Let's say if you was to start your journey all over again from the very beginning, what would you have done faster?
leaked. I would have only been doing it. I would have not been having the extra jobs and like, or I would have the extra side hustles like bartending and maybe selling products and doing things like that. But the job, and I don't want to, I'm not saying people should quit their jobs, but I'm just saying it takes a lot of your time as to where if you're using that time to like develop your skill, if you're really passionate about something and, you know, putting out good work and stuff like that, jobs just 8 hours a day is a lot.
Right.
You only get 24, and you might sleep another 8, and you don't have time when you get off work to work on you and your business. So it's like unless you have a plan and you're using that job to get you, product or something to make your passion work for you,
Right.
then you're wasting your time.
Got you. And I totally get where you're coming from because I like one thing I've understood now is that growing a business takes immense and intense focus.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot, and trying to juggle 2 or 3 things at one time is gonna burn you out. And at some point, you gotta just commit to okay, I'm doing this. I'm gonna put all my attention and all my focus into this one thing until it works. Until it works. So look where you at now. 10 plus years in, making it happen, killing it, killing
Thank
it.
God. Thank God.
Yes, ma'am. What's one of the biggest challenges you are facing right now, like as a business owner?
So I think
Because all businesses have challenges, right?
one of the challenges that I'm really struggling with right now is knowing how to give other people not jobs, but like you can't do everything.
Right.
So in order to grow your business, you gotta grow a team or like
Delegate
build a
work.
team. Yeah, you have to be able to like push other things on other people, or hire
Right.
other people to do things so that you can move forward, or else you're gonna stay where you are. So
Right.
I guess just finding the right help and knowing that sometimes it's not gonna work out, but as long as you try and keep trying, you'll find that. But it's hard because I'm like, no, like right now I really need an assistant for like my bookkeeping and like my replying to emails, and because it's just always your social media DM, your text
Right.
messages, it's just so much every day on top of still working. So it's like you miss stuff, and then that's where the professional like she doesn't respond or
Mm.
So that's just hard for me, but yeah,
What's-
I'm working on it.
What's hard about that specific role?
Just trusting people with your like business, you know what I mean, or like because they have access to kind of like all your stuff, and like you kind of like teaching people how to, you giving them the sauce, you know what I mean, on top of you still paying them, but you're like telling them they know how to do your stuff now. So it's like that is just hard. Like trusting people is hard. You never know who's really for you and who's really for your
Gotcha.
business, and like
Gotcha. You ever looked into getting a VA, a virtual assistant?
I don't know.
You can. On Fiverr. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, we will talk more about it.
Okay.
You can get a VA, and they all those stuff that you need done, they go and handle it. I'll
That's
show it to
dope.
you. Yeah, I'll show it to you. You got Fiverr on your phone?
No, but I've heard of
Okay,
it.
yeah, I'm gonna show it
I've
to
heard of
you.
it. Someone was telling me about, I think that or like YouTube. Like, there's a site like that will like edit your videos for you. Because I'm
Yeah,
supposed to start
yeah.
YouTube too. I have so
Yes.
many videos, but I just haven't edited them.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. You
don't have
definitely
time.
need to get on there. Get on Fiverr, and
Okay.
prices are reasonable. You can find people for as low as maybe $20,
Yeah.
$30 to get all
Yeah.
that stuff done for you. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. So I'll definitely show it to you.
Okay.
But I feel like that challenge right there. I think that's a challenge a lot of entrepreneurs go through, which is finding the right. I guess it's like building a team, and you want to have like the right players,
Mhm.
because that could either make you or break you.
Mhm.
So I definitely feel your struggle in that aspect of wanting to grow your business, but also at least that I need to get this in place so I could flourish and I could grow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause some people, they want to do everything, and we only got two hands, so only so much we can do.
And you still want to live your life.
Right.
You know? Like Houston is still a new city for me, so it's still like so much that I haven't done or want to see. Like coming from Milwaukee, Milwaukee is like a really small city. I love Milwaukee, but it's just not a lot to do. So here, there's always stuff to do, and it's like, well, how are you gonna work and be outside? You gotta kind of decide, like. But I want to be outside too, like.
You want to be outside, huh? Man, don't be outside in Houston, man. Stay inside.
Yeah. It'd be fun sometimes.
Stay inside. Uh, another one I want to ask you was, what makes you the best? Like, let's say that I want to do a marriage ceremony, right? You know what? Let's just say a bride want to get her makeup done. Why would she choose you and not someone else? What makes you different?
Well, I don't focus on trying to like I don't compare myself to anybody else. So like if you choose me, you choose me. What's for me is for me. So like I'm my best and I just try my best, People are gonna pick me because of my style of makeup. I feel like it's very natural. In the bride aspect, it like lasts really long. And it's real pretty, but as far as being the best, I just try to be my best.
Gotcha. This whole makeup industry thing, man, I have like a subtle problem with it, and I think that issue is that, well, not a problem, but to me, I be seeing so much women, they be like, it be caked up,
Okay.
like it be so, and I be like, why? Like why?
But that might be her pretty. Everybody eyes see different, and that's why you can never be for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, and that's
True.
like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There's
True.
people that still like that bold eyeshadow, like that colorful stuff. Where now a lot of people are trying to do like minimal makeup, like I didn't have time to do my makeup today, but where it looked like you barely have any makeup on. That's kind of like the look that I like to do now, but there's still people that want that bold look. And there's people that will book me. I'm like, girl, you did not see that on my page. Like they'll bring me a picture of something with a whole bunch of like rhinestones and glitter. I'm like, girl, that's gonna be a little extra. Okay, but yeah, so it's just that might be her pretty.
Gotcha.
There's people really who sit there and cake it on because they want that thick. It'd be like that. I be watching videos like that all the time.
Is that something you offer? You do that?
No.
You do that style?
I wouldn't, and I wouldn't even try. And then there's also people who like deal with like skin issues and stuff, and so they're trying to cover up something. So that's why it's like cakey. You know what I mean? So be nice to those people.
Skin issues. Why don't just love yourself with your skin issue?
Well, if you have like acne and stuff, that's it's very depressing. That's not okay. When I first moved here, Houston has really dirty water. Did you know that?
Not really.
I'm just playing, but I'm not playing. Coming here, the water is dirty or different than like Milwaukee, so I would like break out like really bad, and so to the point where I went to a dermatologist because I've always dealt with acne, but not to the like how bad it had got here, and so I think it was also stress and just the move and everything too. But the water is different, so it made me insecure. So like you'll be like wanting to be, you will want to hide it. You don't have acne, so it's a thing. It really is.
So basically, you're saying people.
Like if you woke up this morning and we had this interview and you had a whole bunch of pimples and you just woke up out of nowhere and you just had it, you like, how can I cover this?
Right.
So yeah.
So basically, people have this thing where they try to hide their insecurities.
Yeah. Makeup is a cover up for a lot of things, and it can be very therapeutic for people like that.
I'm thinking right now. why can't we live in a world where people don't judge you and you could live with your insecurities?
Because the world isn't like that, and social media makes it so hard. You know, people live to be on social media. Like it's a thing. Like you wake up, good morning, how are you? You know, you want to do that, but if you have acne and stuff, you can't do that. Or you can, but you know, you want to do the filters and you know, people naturally just judge people. It's just I
Just the
don't
way
know.
it is, huh?
It's the way it is. You just got to get with it, or you know,
Have you ever struggled with insecurities and you try to hide it?
definitely. I feel like that's why.
In terms of makeup? No? Oh,
Yeah,
just something?
no.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I was wearing it in high school because I had acne and I wanted to cover it up. Like I know I was still pretty, but I wanted to cover up my acne too. Yeah.
Hmm. This is this is a lot.
Different.
This is a lot. I never thought about it in that aspect of people using makeup as Well, actually, now that we have this conversation, I do. I do. I've actually thought about that before. I don't know why I said that, but that's very interesting though. Very interesting. Um, to me, this how I see makeup. Women just playing around in some color and putting it on their face. That's how I be looking at it.
That's crazy. Men never appreciate what we go through to try to be like beautiful. You know, for like it's just like because y'all really have to do nothing, just go get a haircut, probably, you know. But
Women can do that too.
You can, but we do. There's me and the women that I hang out with. You go the extra mile to be like pretty and take care of yourself. It's just kind of like I guess like self love, a little bit self care.
Right. I have no problem with it. I mean, you are entitled to do whatever you want to do, how you want to do it. I get it. It's cool. But for me, I see it as, God made us all beautiful. And without the makeup, with the makeup, you are still beautiful.
Yeah.
No matter what.
It's just an enhancer. Makeup is just an enhancer. That's all.
Gotcha. So now I'm thinking about what enhancers do men use? But I can't think of that right now. But anyway, that's for another time. Another thing I wanted to ask you was, let's talk about a stressful time that you've had with a client before. Maybe she wanted her makeup done a certain way, you didn't do it that way. Like, what is that like? What is that like?
I've only had like two experiences like that since I've moved to Houston, but it was one when I like kind of first started. But I feel like it was like planned, like she kind of like planned it a little bit. She came, she got her makeup done. When I was done, she kind of like called her friend on the phone, like she like FaceTime her friend, like, hey girl, what you think about this makeup? But it was like her friend.
While you was there?
While I was right there. She's like, what you think about this makeup? And her friend like, what? What's wrong? She's like, I can't see because the phone blurred. She hung up, called somebody else. But I know they're all still in the car. She called her like, girl, what you think about this makeup? She said, girl, it look like a ghost. And I was like, like I'm right here, so I'm like,
Right.
okay.
What does that mean? Look like a ghost?
Like it looked white or it looked casket ready. Like, like not, it wasn't her color. Like,
Right.
and I'm right here, so it's hurtful because this is my job, or
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So then she get up, she like anywhere. I was like, don't worry about it, I can make it darker. So when I say I bronzed her, she was not her color for sure. She was definitely way darker. So then she called another person.
After you fixed it?
After I fixed it. So what you think now? She's like, yeah, it's the color. So, and so then I was like, okay, well, like when she got off the phone that time, I was like, I don't know, you keep calling everybody, it's not gonna make anything better. Do you want me to like wipe it off or like, cause you still owe me, like at the time I was like, you still owe me. Like I took my time, I tried to fix it, and you really can't even tell me what's wrong, because there's nothing wrong. You just want to be problematic. So I was like, you still
How
owe
could
me.
you tell her there's nothing wrong?
Right, because and you're right, because her eye obviously sees something wrong,
Right.
but for the style, if she was looking on my page, for the style of work that I do, that's what was on her face.
Right.
And so there was nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Like, and for what she asked for, I guess. So she was like, like she just turned up immediately, like, I ain't paying for this, like just turned up. But then she called the girl on the phone again, like, you don't have to come up here because it's a big and I'm like, all right. I was like, no, you know what, you can just get out. She's like, oh, I ain't getting out. Put me. Now I start getting like ghetto. Like it's like my
Really?
studio is only this big. You know what I mean? So it's like my dad's like, why you have your gun? I'm like, Dad, I want to be just like, what you want me to just shoot her? Like,
Right.
so she finally left, but after that, I raised my prices. The deal was done. So now I don't have those clients and those problems because I felt like the cheaper you are, not like that.
You think that was a price issue?
She didn't want to pay. Cause I've gotten my hair done. I've gotten services that I didn't like, and I didn't, but I paid, and I just don't come back. I don't bash nobody's business. I don't because I have my own business, so I'm not going to be like, oh, I hate this. I actually recently had a outfit designed for me and it didn't fit because I had went to a fashion show, it didn't fit, it didn't, but I didn't go say, hey, don't get this designer, don't book her, don't, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
everybody makes mistakes and things happen, but, you know, so it's just like, and I paid full price. But I kind of, you know, and I kind of just took the L, but now I know, now I'm not coming back, now we're good, fine,
Right.
boom. But that's just me.
Man, she been causing all of that hell,
And I was like, all I could think about was like, dang, if I get to throw all my stuff around this room.
huh?
But yeah, when she left, I just was like, you know what? I just have to like come up with a better plan, like, because you can't really make somebody pay for services before you give it, because if they, you know, sometimes they don't like it, or you know, you should have that right. But like in that situation, it was her for sure.
Gotcha. And that did. I only could imagine, you know, calling your friend and the person that did the makeup artist there, and they said, "Oh,
Like
it
my
looks
heart was
like
beating
this."
so fast. Like my heart was like, is she doing this? You know, like it was like you get that rush, like what's
Right.
going to happen? Like I don't know. But
Man. Man, what was the other time like, if you could remember?
The other time,
Well, you know what? But let's get back to that. Going back to that situation, right?
Mhm.
Because it may be someone else that's going to go through that same situation as well.
Mhm.
Going back to that, what do you think you could have done better in that situation?
in that situation, I probably could have, cause after the third call, I was like amped up, so I wasn't as nice. I could have stayed calm and stayed like, you know, like it didn't bother me. When she like when you allow others to see that you're bothered, then you know
Now
I
they
feel
have some
like
type of control.
they have some type of control. Then you kind of like automatically lose. Like even when things bother me, which I try not to let anything bother me, I just kind of let it go. You gotta release certain things and know when to release it. Just let it
Right.
go. Like if she whatever, I didn't. I really should have wiped. It should have been wiped off. You know, like before she left, because
Right.
now we both just lose. Like you don't have to make it. You know, but because you still went out and you wore that face, so
Right.
it's like, but just try not to let stuff bother you. Stress.
Could have been a little more calm.
I
or
should
maybe
have
a
been
little more
calm. I
a
should
little
have been
level-headed.
calm. Should have been more level-headed as a boss, as the owner, as a
Right.
business owner. You just have to know when to let stuff go.
Gotcha. Man.
But I also was new here, and you new to Houston at the time, and so you don't want people to feel like they can walk over you. And so
Right.
you also sometimes you be like, okay, well, is this the person that you got to make an example, or like, what you know what I mean? So you can try to think of all these things, like, okay, because you don't want people just coming in here like, okay,
Right.
just act mad and then walk out and then nothing happened. You know
Right.
what I mean? So you don't. So it's just like all those thoughts in one. So yeah.
Man. So she just left after a while.
She just left after a while. She was like real loud. I'm like, I don't want my people next to my suite hearing all this. Like,
Right.
just go, please. Like, it's okay.
I feel you.
But that day, that day was just a rough day for me all around too. So I probably would have handled the situation had that day just not been. It just was rough.
Right.
So
Gotcha. Let's say, well, not let's say, there is other young women that want to get in the industry. They want to be at the level you're at. They want to start makeup and beauty line and cosmetic line. What's some advice you got for that young woman that want to get in the industry?
get started. It's just like you just gotta start, because people always wait for the perfect opportunity or like the perfect time. They're like, okay, well, I gotta get better at this first. But not knowing that just getting started and just taking the clients and just practicing, you're gonna learn, you're gonna get better. You know what I mean? So, and you can't really practice like you can't really practice for it. You kind of just have to like just get into it. You know what I mean? Like because I look at the pictures that when I first started doing makeup, I'm like, ooh, I used to really mess people up.
Right.
But they like it's gonna be somebody that like it. You just have to get started and then build your name and just try to network. Like make sure that you linking with people and not competing with people.
Linking with people. Say that again.
Linking with people and not competing with people.
Man, say it one more time, man, because people need to hear that.
You do. You gotta link and not compete because with makeup, one of my strategies here was like, I want to have makeup friends. So there's, 3 million people that live here? Not everybody can take everybody.
True.
So you need to be friends with those other people so that when they can't take people, they can send them your way. Or like I have a circle of makeup artists that I deal with and we send each other clients. Like you can't take everybody. There's gonna be days that you might get sick and you need to give your clients to somebody else. But so yeah, you just gotta make sure that you're building that, circle.
Collaboration over competition.
All day.
All day. I agree with that 100%. Link with them rather than compete with them. And to add to what you said about waiting on the perfect moment, one of the things that I realized is that the lessons you learn on the way of growing your business when you're just starting are way more valuable than waiting for perfection to hit.
Literally.
And then trying to start.
And people like to watch your growth. People be like, oh my God, I remember, you know what I mean? Like those type of things, like, I'm so proud of you or where you are. And it's like, dang, I'm not even where I want to be or where I think, so you can hard on yourself, but you got to know that there's people that have been watching your whole time. So if you just come out perfect, it's like, where you from? But you just it's okay to struggle and it's okay to not have it all together and figure it out. Like, that's okay. And people just be like, don't want to show that, but I feel like that's where I was saying, like in the beginning, like being like authentically yourself and allowing people that's gonna grow your audience and your team.
Gotcha. So let's walk through the business model side of things. Like what services you provide?
So I just do right now. I just offer classes and then I do like full glams.
What's a full glam? I don't know what that is.
So full glam, just like a full face of makeup, from the highlight, the contour, the lashes, the brows.
So you do lashes as well?
Lash strips, not extensions.
Strips. What's the difference?
So extensions, you like to kind of go sleep and wake up pretty because they're still gonna be on. But then strips, you gotta apply every day. Like right now, I didn't have any strips at home, so if I had extensions, I would be ready.
Right. Gotcha. So, how do people go about booking you?
StyleSeat, I use a platform called StyleSeat right now, but I'm in the process of switching over. A lot of people use Acuity. I just have to get into it. But
Acuity is a good platform. I have it as well.
Okay, so I just the switching over because I don't close my book. So I have people that book I have girls that are booking prom in May, and I'm like, gosh, don't speed the year up, but yeah. So Acuity, you have to open it and close it, and I'm just not I have so much going on that I'm not that organized. I'll look up and I'm like, dang, I don't got no clients. It's like, yeah, your books are closed.
Right.
So.
Gotcha. So how do you know what, I guess, so there are different color makeups, right? Different tones of makeup. Like, how do you know what color to apply to this person's skin?
It just comes with practice. That's just something, that's the first question that every girl asks when they take my class. They be like, well, I just need to get good at matching the skin tones. And it's like, you just have to pick a brand that you like and that you're going to get comfortable with and learn that brand inside and out, because it's just practice. Everybody is have different undertones, different, so you got to learn what colors mix together and what so it's that's practice.
What you mean with colors mixed together? You take two different color makeup and mix it together?
Yeah, sometimes if you run out, you got to improvise, and because that happens especially when you're traveling. That's why I don't like to travel anymore. But traveling, you've been forgot something. Now you gotta mix these colors together to make this perfect color. But so it's just practice. It's practice. I didn't always have it, and
Do
sometimes
you?
people,
What I'm getting from it, for me, well, do you like hold the makeup kit next to person face and be like,
no,
okay,
I
this
can kind
color
of look
match?
at, like I can look at you and be like, this is the color I'll use for you. Like I can know, like now I know,
Right.
but I've been doing it for a long time. In the
Right.
beginning, I didn't. I would sit there and I would get the colors that I feel like is close, and then I would just watch their face to see which one, just
Right.
takes time. Like you, in the beginning, you're not gonna be as fast as someone that's been doing it a long time. Like now, I can do a full glam in like 40 minutes. When I first started, it was maybe 2 hours.
Sheesh.
You know,
2 hours now down to 40 minutes. How much is a full glam?
150.
150 in 40 minutes. That's what's up. That's what's up. Full glam. So what all that include? So you know what? Let's backtrack a little bit. I know there's a bunch of different components that come with it, like you said, the makeup and contour. That is the word contour.
Mm-hmm.
And
Highlighting.
like walk me through that process. Like, let's say a woman come right now, sit on your chair, getting it done. What's that like? Walk me through the process.
So
What goes on first?
you do like skin prep. I clean all my clients' faces. I pray that they don't come with like a dirty face. But sometimes you have people that come to a makeup appointment with makeup on. I'm like, what?
Really?
Yeah, it's like you would think that they wouldn't, but they're like, yeah, well, I've been out all day. But it's like you really want to come to your makeup appointment with like after you just did your best skincare routine, because then the foundation just gonna like lay better, like
Right.
everything is better. But if you got me, I'm still trying to do that 40-minute face. So now I gotta
Right.
wipe your face off. That take 5 minutes off of where I could have been. You know what I mean? Because I still have other people coming after. So it's
Do you, I don't mean cut you off, but do you charge extra when you have to clean the face?
I don't, but it just depends.
Right.
Like if it pushed me behind, yeah, I will. Like I'm like, okay, it's a little extra, or you might gotta come back later or something, so that I'm not too far behind, because
Right.
people be serious about their makeup appointments.
So walk me through it. So you
you cleanse the face. You do like the prep.
how do you clean it? Just soap and water?
Alcohol, like makeup wipes. They have like different like pads. Serum, you moisturize you put your primer.
Serum is a moisturizer?
Well, serum like on the like like in your skincare routine, like just like the serum that you put on your face.
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
I
well,
don't
yeah.
have no skincare
You have
routine.
serum,
My
moisturizer.
skin is flawless with no skincare routine.
Period. It is. That's kind of aggravating. But
Why is it aggravating?
because people like me gotta go and get like chemical peels and facials, and you just wake up and you don't do anything. You don't go buy serums, you don't go buy nothing. And I have like a closet full of like, all this stuff that but whatever. It's just a long process. The foundation, the concealer, you gotta do a lot.
I want to know the whole process from start.
They gotta take the class.
Say less. Y'all gotta take the class. Y'all gotta take the class. Say less. Let's talk about the class. Which is the one-on-one class?
Yes, I do one-on-ones. What?
You do the one-on-one
And
class.
so the one-on-one classes that I do, they're tailored to each student. So before anyone takes my class, I kind of ask them like, what are you looking to gain from this class? Like, what do you want to learn? So everybody is different in their journey. Some people have been doing makeup for 1 year. Some people have been doing it for 5 years and just want to, when I take a makeup class, I always go, because I still take at least a class a year to stay hip. But I go to learn different techniques to add to mine,
Right.
And so there's people that are just learning and they're just starting. So I gotta do like from the very beginning basic stuff. But then you have those advanced artists that want to learn how I do like my eyebrows or do. So every class is tailored to each
that specific
student.
student. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. And the one-on-one class. How much is the one-on-one class?
So for a basic, it's 700. Advanced is 1,000.
What's the difference between the basic and the advanced?
So advanced, you get 3 models.
3 models.
Yeah, so it's like a longer term, like
And
time
you
frame.
provide the models.
Yeah, or sometimes I let them provide the models because then they might feel more comfortable working with, like if it's like their mom or like their friend, like
Okay,
and if they're new, they don't want to be using somebody they've never done before.
Right.
Now they're shaking.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. That make a lot of sense. And the advanced comes with 3 models, and the basic comes with
1 model.
one model.
And then basically like we complete a face together. So like I'll do half the face, you do half the face, but really you do like 3/4 of the face, and I do like 25%, and I like coach you through it.
Right.
You know? But it's
Right.
it's still very detailed. It's just not as long.
Right. And it's a 1 day class
Mhm.
for the basic. Well, I guess
For basic and advanced,
it's
it's
a
one
1 day
day. Yeah,
class.
it's 1 day thing.
Gotcha.
But I'm in the process of working on making like longer courses for people who need like that extra time. So I want to by April it should be up and going where I have like more of a beauty institute. Because right now I have a salon suite where I have makeup artists that work in the suite, but right now it's not full anymore. But kind of like purposely because I want to leave a couple stations open for the classes.
Right. Makes
So, yeah.
sense. Makes sense. While we're here on the one-on-one classes, um, so I'm trying to find the right way to to word this. She have the one-on-one class, the basic and advanced. How do they book it? How do they find it? And then can we put something together for the listeners here? You know.
Okay, so currently I use StyleSeat for booking, but within like the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be transferring over, hopefully to Acuity, and I guess us together we can give them a special, maybe for the advanced course, and instead of it being 1,000, we could do 800, and we're going to use the code. What code?
Hour of Change.
Hour of
Hour of
Change.
Change. The podcast name is Hour of Change. So you just go in there, you type in Hour of Change. HOUR of Change.
Yeah. Or can we do like, cause will they let us type it that long? Probably.
We'll probably
figure it
should.
out.
We'll figure
Yeah.
it out. Yeah.
But and then you'll get that $200 off.
We'll put the link in the description. We'll put all that information in the description so you know how to find it. Know how to find it.
Boom.
Let's make it happen. What else we need to touch on? How far do you see yourself going in this industry?
So my goal for like the next year is I want like brand deals. Like I want to do my own makeup. You know what I mean? I obviously always want to take clients, you know, on a weekend hustle, but so I love it. I love to work personally. Like, you know how some people be like, I just like to work. So like I don't mind being at work all day, all night. Like that's my thing. I like that. But I want to do like where I'm making videos and people are sending me like PR packages or like big brands so that I can like travel for makeup, you know? Like I
Gotcha.
just wanna like change how I'm doing it. Like the hustle, I did that my first 2 years in Houston, I did that. Now I just need to figure out like my niche on like what's next. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Outside of like just taking clients every day, all day.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense. Before we wrap it up, I just need to ask you 2 more questions. One of them being, I met a guy in Atlanta. I went down there for what was it? I went down there for a Social Proof podcast event, and I stayed at an Airbnb, and I was fortunate enough to meet the owner. His name is Umar, and we ended up talking for like about 45 minutes. One of the most brilliant minds I've ever spoke to in my life. He an older guy, but his mindset, like his mind is just so, it's unbelievable how smart he is. And I told him about my podcast and what I got going on, what I'm doing. And he said that he likes the idea. So anyway, fast forward, the next morning, he brings me a piece of paper and it's just had different ideas of what I can add to the podcast. And at the bottom of it, it said, the world is listening. And basically, this segment of my podcast is forever dedicated towards him. And it's called The World is Listening. So the question I want to ask you is, the world is listening. If it's one piece of advice you can give to humanity, what would it be?
Don't give up. I know it sounds very basic, but don't give up because tomorrow could be the day that what you've been working on for so long, it just pops. Or tomorrow might be the day that you're at the grocery store, you run into a person like Omar and he gives you that advice that you need to, or that little piece of the puzzle to finish whatever you've been working on for so long, you know? So yeah, just don't give up and keep going and don't compete with anybody but yourself. I think I struggled in the beginning of my career because I was always trying to be like other people. You know what I mean? Until one day, this other artist, I kept taking her class, and she told me like, "Why do you keep doing this?" And I was like, "Or why do you keep trying to take my class?" And I was like, "Cause my stuff it's not looking like yours." And she was like, "Well, it's never gonna look like mine. You like basically like you can't be me." And not in a shady way, but in real life, you just can only be yourself. So like, just focus on you and keep going. You know what I mean?
Don't give up. Focus on you. Keep going.
Oh, that was three. That was three.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. That's the advice you want to give to humanity.
That is.
I love it. Couldn't close it out no better than that. I'm honored. I'm thankful for the opportunity to sit down with you. You provide a lot of value. We up out of here. Peace.
That was nice.
Yes, ma'am.